In late 2025, Canada confronted President Donald Trump in a way no nation had before, publicly and personally. The world was stunned as Canada, long known for its measured diplomacy and polite negotiations, decided to take a stand that was impossible to ignore. This was not just another policy disagreement, it was a direct challenge to the most powerful office in the world, and to the man who held it. Instead of quiet diplomacy, Canada launched a bold, visible challenge, targeting Trump's business interests directly. The government made its intentions clear in press conferences and through coordinated media campaigns, ensuring the message reached both Washington and the American public. This marked a sharp break from tradition, escalating a simmering trade dispute into a personal confrontation. The usual backroom negotiations were replaced by open, high-stakes brinkmanship, with both sides refusing to back down. Trump's tariffs on Canadian industries had caused real pain, threatening jobs and livelihoods across the country. In response, Canada imposed tariffs not just on American goods, but specifically on products tied to the Trump Organization, making the conflict deeply personal. It was a calculated risk, aiming to hit Trump where it hurt most, his wallet. By targeting his private business empire, Canada hoped to force a change in U.S. policy by making the consequences personal for the president himself. By personalizing the conflict, Canada signaled it would no longer play by old rules. The message was clear: Canada would defend its interests, even if it meant rewriting the playbook for international relations. The move was unprecedented, a nation targeting a sitting U.S. president's private empire. It sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles and made headlines around the globe, as analysts debated the risks and potential fallout. Traditional negotiations had failed, and Canada felt cornered. With no other options left, the government decided to act decisively, even if it meant facing unpredictable consequences. The government believed only an unconventional response could get results with an unconventional leader. Behind closed doors, advisors weighed every possible outcome, knowing the stakes had never been higher. This set the stage for a dramatic high-stakes confrontation between two close allies. The world braced for the fallout, as the relationship between Canada and the United States entered uncharted territory. The world watched as Canada dared to push back, reshaping the rules of engagement and signaling that even the closest allies could be forced to take extraordinary measures when pushed to the brink. The conflict exploded into public view during the 2025 World Series, a time when millions of Americans were glued to their screens, united by the drama of the nation's favorite pastime. The stakes were high, not just for the teams on the field, but for the political climate simmering in the background. In the middle of the action, Ontario seized the moment and aired a provocative ad on U.S. television, interrupting the game with a message that couldn't be ignored. The ad featured Ronald Reagan, a symbol of conservative values, denouncing tariffs, aimed squarely at Trump's base, and invoking nostalgia for a different era of U.S.-Canada relations. Ontario Premier Doug Ford openly admitted the ad was crafted to get Trump's attention and to rally American conservatives against his trade policies, hoping to spark debate and sway public opinion. This was a rare and bold move, a foreign government buying primetime airtime to criticize a sitting U.S. president, something almost unheard of in modern political history. The Reagan Foundation quickly objected, calling the ad misleading and inappropriate, but by then, the message had already landed in living rooms across America. Suddenly, the ad turned what had been a simmering trade dispute into a national conversation, sparking heated debates in homes, workplaces, and on social media. It was a public shaming on a grand scale, reframing Trump's tariffs as not just controversial, but fundamentally un-American, and challenging the narrative from the highest levels. The gambit forced the issue into the spotlight, escalating tensions to a new level and ensuring that the world was now watching every move in this high-stakes standoff. Trump's response was immediate and fierce. He ended all trade talks with Canada and announced a sweeping 10% tariff on all Canadian imports. This was a massive escalation, threatening billions in daily cross-border trade. Trump called the ad fraudulent and accused Canada of interfering in U.S. affairs. The Canadian government's gamble backfired, hardening Trump's stance and plunging relations into crisis. The new tariffs hit Canadian businesses across the board, from manufacturers to farmers. With negotiations dead, uncertainty gripped the multi-trillion-dollar trade relationship. Trump's fury had turned a political message into a full-blown economic war. Canada's bold move got attention, but at a steep price. The stakes for both countries had never been higher. Even before the Reagan ad, Canada had already crossed a line by targeting Trump's businesses with tariffs. This was a direct response to U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. The move was unprecedented, aimed at Trump's personal financial interests, not just national industries. The Trump Organization vowed to fight back in Canadian courts, making the dispute both economic and legal. International observers were divided. Some saw it as dangerous, others as clever. The Biden administration had tried to avoid such personal disputes, but Trump's return reignited old tensions. Canada's strategy set the tone for a new, more personal era of trade conflict. The leaders made their positions clear, each one standing firm on their policies and beliefs, leaving no room for ambiguity. Ontario's Doug Ford defended the ad as necessary to protect Canadian jobs, emphasizing the importance of local employment and economic stability. Trump responded with outrage, calling the ad a hostile act and justifying his harsh tariffs as a defense of American dignity, portraying himself as the protector of American interests. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney refused to back down, vowing not to be bullied and announcing a bold plan to double exports to countries beyond the U.S., showcasing his resolve. These public statements drew sharp battle lines, setting the stage for a fierce political and economic confrontation. Ford was the defiant provincial leader, Trump the enraged superpower, and Carney the strategist seeking independence, each playing their part in this unfolding drama. The conflict became a clash of personalities as much as policies, with each leader's unique style and approach adding fuel to the fire. Each leader's stance was clear and uncompromising, leaving little room for negotiation or middle ground. The public could easily see the stakes and the drama, as the media coverage intensified and opinions polarized. The trade fight was now a personal and national showdown, with both countries' pride and economic futures hanging in the balance. Canada's personal approach sparked global debate. Targeting a leader's private businesses was uncharted territory, raising fears of a dangerous precedent. Critics warned this could lead to chaotic personal attacks in future disputes worldwide. The Reagan ad, too, was seen as a breach of diplomatic etiquette, foreign interference in domestic politics. Allies worried Canada had opened a Pandora's box, blurring lines between state and personal interests. The world watched, knowing the outcome could reshape international norms. Canada's actions were a test case for how smaller nations confront populist superpowers. Would this bold strategy force change, or backfire disastrously? The answer would have global implications. The 2025 trade war left a lasting scar on US-Canada relations. Canada's personal tactics shattered the old trust, injecting animosity into a once stable partnership. Trump's tariffs forced Canada to seek new markets, a risky but necessary pivot. The outcome could reshape North America's economy for a generation. For the US, the episode showed even close allies have limits. Other countries may now follow Canada's lead, risking a more fractured global trading system. The conflict proved that personal politics can damage vital economic ties. This was a turning point, a cautionary tale for the new era of unpredictable diplomacy.